Hey, just a quick heads up before the podcast. Angela's actually going to be at New York Comic Con. She'll be tabling with Meredith Nolan, and they'll be at I-38 selling comics, pins, stickers, and custom commissions. If you want more info, check both of them out on social media at Mer Nolan and at Angela Animates. If you're listening to this on Comic Con weekend, make sure to drop by and buy some stuff. Alright, pre-podcast promo over. Now, on with the episode. Hey there, I am Adam Latour, and this is the KashCast, a laid-back animation-focused podcast where I interview artists, animators, and online creators about their work, life, and interests. With me, I have Angela Vito. Angela is an illustrator, published author, and currently a retake supervisor at Titmouse. Now, let me turn over the mic to her so she can introduce herself.
Hey guys, I'm Angela DeVito. Like Adam said, I'm an animator and illustrator based in New York. And I'm currently a retake supervisor at Titmouse. We both work on the same production, KIF.
KIF is indeed king, yo.
KIF is king.
Okay. So, first bullet, if you can, go over your origin. So, what was your history relationship with art and animation, and what drove you to be interested in it?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, so I was always kind of, oh my god, I can't speak English. Okay.
Who can these days?
Oh my god, nobody can. None of us can. We speak gibberish. Yeah, so I've just always had a pencil in my hand or crayons since I was little, and I kind of always had a knack for drawing. I didn't really know I was good at it until kindergarten when the art teacher got really excited and she wanted to have my work in I guess it was a local museum or something.
Oh wow.
I don't even remember what this piece looked like. I don't even know where it is. My mom must have it because she keeps everything. But anyway, I always was I was good at copying things, which I guess is how you start learning to draw.
Yeah.
And then there was a period in high school, you get snobbish in high school, where people would be like my grandma's friends, they would be like, "Oh, you still draw?" And I was like, oh, why are they always asking me if I draw? I don't really want to draw or be known for drawing. And then fast forward, and I'm obsessed with becoming an animator. But I feel like I didn't know animation was a job until I started researching colleges, and I went to SVA.
Right.
And how I found SVA was crazy. I was really I'm still obsessed with My Chemical Romance. And I went to the concert this year. But
oh right, how was that?
It was great. I was in heaven. Teenage Angela was living the dream. But I don't know if you know this, the singer Gerard Way went to SVA and he did the album artwork for 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. So I saw
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was researching the band or whatever you do as a tween. And I was like, oh, what is this School of Visual Arts? And that was when I was getting back into drawing. And I looked at SVA and I saw they had an animation major. And I was one of those kids that loved animated movies. I loved all the Disney movies. I never grew out of it like some people might. So I was like, you can do that for a job? And then that was my goal. I was like, I want to be an animator and I want to work on films, which has since pivoted because now I'm in TV and I love where I am. So
right. Life works in mysterious ways, of course.
It does. Yeah, so long story short, I always loved drawing, and I found out that you can be an animator from researching a singer from a rock band and seeing where he went to school. That's my origin villain backstory.
I mean, hey, I think like everyone, I mean, especially going forward, I think he's gonna have like pretty absurd backstories. Like I literally just forklifted myself like into this position with like no prior experience like in the industry. Well, I mean like before, like talking about my first project, which is finally out, Metalocalypse. Yes, hi.
Oh yes, that's right.
Oh man.
Yeah, Metalocalypse.
See, it was so surreal being on that because like I was always familiar with like Brendan Small and I really respect him. I like his work, but I was more familiar with him through home movies. I had not really watched more than 15 minutes of
Oh
Metalocalypse.
my
So
god.
getting here was not only very ironic, but also because of the fact that one of my friends and fellow friend of the show, Jara, them and their friends are like huge Metalocalypse fans. So it's like so it's like the irony is palpable. Like it got to the
Oh, that's
point
wonderful.
where, well, even now they're trying to like tie me down to a chair and actually have me watch the damn show.
You haven't watched the show yet? You gotta
I've
watch
watched
the show.
episodes here and there, which most of it has been.
Oh, okay.
Like I've learned enough through osmosis, I feel.
I gotta tell you something about home movies. I used to love home movies.
Oh.
And I actually watched it recently because I went over to my friend's house. I stood there for a weekend because she lives on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And and she had found this YouTube channel. It's called Cereal Milk. And this person recreates like the programming from like the 90s, early 2000s of what was on Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
Oh! Oh, this is the stuff that I'm seeing in my recommended these days. Oh, I rock with this.
You need to check out that channel. So anyway, we watch TV and it comes with the commercials and everything.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we sat there and we watched it and home movies came on. It was really fun not knowing what was going to come on. He stitches it all together in like a 3-hour segment. They stitch it all together in a 3-hour programming set, and I don't know how they find like what commercials went where. It's really amazing. So we sat there and home movies came on and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this show. It's such a gem. It's such a wild ride. I really enjoyed that. If you're obviously, I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you're a fan of animation, you should check out that channel if you want a little bit of nostalgia in your life.
No, absolutely.
And if you want to feel like you took a step back in time with commercials.
That's the thing that I'm impressed by too, because like, as someone who moonlights as like a video essayist, like I don't know how like they're able to get away with just like uploading full episodes and commercials. I'm not complaining, but I am surprised.
On one of the commercials, they had a go to this website. I forgot what it was for. Oh my god, there were so many good commercials. It was like, oh, you know what it might have been? Do you remember the blow pens?
The blow pens.
It was like an airbrush pen.
Oh, wait, so you literally blew into it and like glitter came out or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was an airbrush pen. I never had one. I think it was a commercial for the blow pens, and that's literally what they were called. Like, I'm not making that up.
Oh my god.
It had a phone number because back in the day you had to call them, and the website, and we were like, let's go to the website and see if we can order blow pens. We went to the website. It doesn't exist anymore. It was very upsetting.
Aww.
I think if it did exist, I would probably have ordered some blow pens and tested them out.
Oh man. But yeah, like I guess to like answer my own point. But yeah, like everyone like has like interesting origins. And I think like going forward, especially like in this era that we're in, we're probably gonna have like more of that. I don't know anyone like me, obviously. Like for context sake, I literally just use like this platform to just like get me to like talk to people. And no, I'm lucky in the fact I was able to talk to a lot of people who I was already like, fans of. Like I really respected their work and they were like, help me or like use connections and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like another primary motivation was that, having a coffee calls or whatever would like help. But I'm like, why not like share this information and like laugh a little bit along the way with like others, pretty easily. Because like, if I'm knowing like a certain level, someone else, like who's probably still in high school or college, probably gonna know a lot less.
Absolutely.
If there is one thing I can say, being a fan, being a genuine fan definitely helps. If anything, this is going to be a very funny coincidence because I hit the jackpot because you are officially the third former Magical Friendship Squad crew member who came on the show. So I win.
Oh, are you like a fan of Magical Girl Friendship Squad?
Oh, don't get me started. Like, it's like a third responsible of like why I'm here at this point. Like,
oh my god, I have to send you a picture. Did you ever see the crew shirt?
oh no, I didn't know y'all had crew shirts.
Oh my god, I'm gonna take a picture of it and show you.
Oh my god, please send it my way.
You know the creator. I don't know if she's at Titmouse right now.
I don't think, but I know like when we had the crew party, I did actually bump into her actually.
Oh, you should get her on here.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like.
You should get her on here.
I really should.
That was a fun show to work on.
Yeah, yeah. No,
that was during the dark times of COVID.
Yeah. See, it's so funny because like I was like super into the show, trying to get my podcast off the ground, and then like I bumped into Marika. And, you know, she was like, oh, I'll be in your podcast. And then, like, funny enough, I don't think she's that far from me. And that's, like, the funniest shit. And then later I got Kay on here as well. And that was another good episode. And I even know that you're on it as well until I checked your website. Like, I know you're on the Midnight Gospel, which, hilariously, like, I didn't finish until, like, maybe like 2 weeks ago, despite watching like almost every other episode, like when it dropped, like, you know, COVID brain, whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was we worked on that right before COVID, and then around when COVID hit, I think that's when it kind of like wrapped up. That was like the timeline for that. That was the before times.
Yeah. I still can't believe it's like it was gonna be like almost like 4 years, and it was like, Jesus Christ.
That's wild.
Like, I still passed a high schooler, so it doesn't, you know, like. Oh man. Okay, before I get sidetracked, second bullet. Do you have like any specific influences you have or do you want to draw from when, you know, you make your work?
Oh my god, all the time. And I feel like with the internet, it always changes because you always find like a new artist that you become like obsessed with. You feel like your drawing's never good enough. Like you draw and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you go see someone else's and you're like, oh my god, I want to draw like them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so hard to like find like the inner image of like your ideal art style, like the art style for your project. But then you just like refresh and see someone that already has that. And you're like, yeah, brainwaves, give it to me.
Exactly. But in terms of like the influences I've had for a while, let's say, I don't know if you know this, but I really love Sailor Moon.
Oh, don't get me started.
So Sailor Moon and Pokemon are like the two pillars of me getting into art and animation.
Mm-hmm.
The third one from slightly older Angela is Princess Mononoke.
Ooh.
I love Princess Mononoke. And then this isn't an animated film, but I feel like a storytelling awakening happened to me when I watched Pan's Labyrinth. When I saw Pan's Labyrinth and I was like, wow, dark, gritty fairy tale. Those are the kind of stories I want to make. And that's kind of like what I went for Heartless Prince. Fast forward. That's a future question.
Oh.
But
it's a call forward.
But yeah, like that movie is just so beautiful, and Guillermo del Toro is just, I love all of his work. I love Crimson Peak. His live action films are so artistic, and I'm ashamed to say this, I went to see the Pinocchio exhibit at the MoMA, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and I still haven't watched the movie. But I have to watch the movie. Why did I go to the exhibit when I didn't see the movie, you may ask? It's because me and a group of other animators got together and we're like, we want to go see the Pinocchio exhibit. And they had all seen the movie and I hadn't, and I went with them. But you know what? That exhibit made me really want to see the movie 10 times more. Have I had time to sit down and watch a movie? No. But I will watch it in the future. But yeah, those are like the main influences I have 90s Magical Girl.
Mhm.
I loved working on Magical Girl Friendship Squad because it was based on magical girls, and I love magical girls. But I'm very influenced by, I love doing like fantasy, fairy tale, dark, sometimes bloody thing. Oh, and I love drawing swords. Did you know that this month is Swordtember?
I saw your Instagram. I didn't think they had an actual prompt for that.
Oh yeah, it's actually run by another. She's a wonderful artist. You know what? I'll say she's an influence. Faith Schaefer, who's also in the animation industry. She started this and she does beautiful work. She's been making these whole Swordtember prompts. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and it, like, her aesthetic fits very well with my aesthetic. Like, I'm a big fan.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
rad.
that's cool, right? Are you on
Yeah.
her page right now? Yeah.
Oh my god.
She did like a whole animation for it this year. Like a whole reveal of Swordtember theme.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what?
Oh, that's nuts. I've been trying to teach myself animation.
I saw that on TikTok, and I gotta tell you, I didn't know that you didn't know how to animate. I thought you did.
Yeah. Like,
I saw that TikTok and I was shocked. I was like, what? What do you mean they're teaching themselves how to animate?
yeah, so that's the thing. Like, and I don't know, I'll go back. I didn't go to an art school or honestly have like any real art education past like 4th grade. Whatever I know, like, I self-taught myself out of spite because
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I respect
man.
you.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
I think that's been the difficult thing, honestly. Like, obviously, there's like a lot of great resources online, but like,
oh yeah,
I feel like as the older I get, fine, I'll do some of my own backstory. Obviously, I was definitely like one of those kids that got really into. Well, I was always into cartoons, but like the era of like Steven Universe, OKKO left like a huge imprint on me, and I really respect the creators of those as well. Like, huge impact. Yeah. But I think it was like that era, especially from my perspective, like that era of fandom where they really shed a light on like how the sausage was made, so to speak. You know, like that era of crew blogs, I really appreciate because, like, you saw boards, you saw model sheets, you saw like some cut sequences. In a time where we didn't really have, or at least I didn't have access to, you know, stuff like PDFs of the Animation Survival Kit or, you know, Schoolism or whatever else have you. While I didn't really have like the tech talk, you know, it ignited a passion and a huge respect for how everything comes together. Sadly, like, not many others in my family saw it that way, especially because, well, yeah, my art wasn't good enough to pursue for a major, but I didn't know this was something I could have majored in anyway. I was originally I was set to major in IT. I went to NYCC for a year.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't go well because I learned that Java is not my friend.
Get out of here, Java.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk to you right now.
Anyone who is able to like still use HTML like code their own NeoC's page, like, hats off to you, but that's not for me. I love the aesthetic of old web pages. I don't like actually making them.
Oh man, that was a time. You had to see. You would have loved my MySpace page.
Oh my God.
You would have loved it. I had Sailor Moon gifs on there.
Oh, do you have like the glittery like custom cursors and shit?
I don't remember if I did a custom cursor. I gotta tell you, I think I'm like you, where I didn't have the patience to sit there. I feel like I was in the middle era. I wasn't of the era where like I learned how to code. They're like people who know how to code.
Yeah.
Because of perfecting their MySpace. I feel like I came at the tail end and like I did what was easy. I don't remember if I had a custom cursor. I remember I used to like to add like the widget.
Yeah.
Like countdowns to things. And like you could wait when you open your MySpace, a specific song plays.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, this is my song. This is my anthem. If I had a show, this would be my theme song.
My God.
Like that kind of thing.
Like I can definitely relate because like my own experiences, you know, like social media wise, they go more towards Tumblr, obviously.
Oh, Tumblr. I love Tumblr.
And yeah, I was definitely in that generation where the more quote unquote Tumblr famous people were always like, doing like really advanced edits of the redo theme. And I was like, I'm just here. I like things plain. It's not much, but it's my theme.
I want an easy, customizable template where I could be like, all right, this is nice. Put a picture in there. I feel like I kind of went deep into customizing my Tumblr.
Yeah.
I really tried to teach myself how to make links and everything. Tumblr was like, I was trying to treat it as a website when I first started my Tumblr.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I think it's like the perfect like middleman, so to speak, between like a whole dedicated website and the rest of social media, like Twitter or whatever. And like obviously you can like get your own domain. Like I know people still do that. So
oh yeah, you can really trick people with the domain. Don't let them know it's Tumblr. I recently bought a domain to make a portfolio site for my webcomic character because she's also an artist, and I said,
"Oh my god!"
And I said, how cool would it be? You know what happened? I had an episode where I had her like give a business card, and I put like a fake website on it, and like I sat there and I was like, what if people could actually go to that website?
I mean, I hate to sound like an executive, but this sounds like genius marketing. Like, oh my god, I love in-character shit like that.
Well, I thought it would be fun, like and then at the end of the episode, I was like, guys, the website's real, and like I had it, and I had it redirect to Lucy's Tumblr portfolio.
Oh, that's so rad. Again, obviously, it's like showing my age in fandom, but like I was an addict to that old Key Beach City Weird Tumblr blog for Steven Universe. I thought this shit was so cool.
Oh my god, I don't even think I ever saw that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, perfect.
No.
So like it was an in-universe blog for the character Ronaldo. He was like this like terminally online like conspiracy theorist nerd. Good heart, although I probably like him a bit more than the rest of the fandom, but it was so cool though, because like it was really interesting to like see like the events of something as fantastical as Steven Universe, but like how it's gonna affect like an average Joe. I don't know if there's a trope for this.
Is this like canon?
Yeah, because I know like they eventually like made like a whole book that like expand.
There's a book here. There's a book. That's so cool.
They really went like all out with this concept, and I love it for that.
Oh, this is beautiful. I want to do something like this.
It's so fun. Like
oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Matt Brenner and Ben Levin. Yeah, they had like such amount of fun on this stuff.
I want to follow this. They probably don't even update it.
Yeah.
Anymore. I want to follow it anyway.
I think the
I'm gonna look at that later.
Yeah. I feel like the new journal from Marcy for Amphibia is like the closest equivalent these days. It's like another like in character thing, talking about like the events of the show from their perspective, and a bit of an epilogue too. I just think stuff like that's like really cool, honestly.
That's really clever. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, like thank you for giving me the opportunity to gush about it, of course.
I was kind of just over here like, but what if people could do something interactive and go to a website? And I put like a fake email too. She's a vampire, so I put vmail.com.
Oh my
you can email
God.
her. You can email her if you want. The email doesn't work.
Yeah, that's for the best.
That's where I drew the line.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Could you imagine? Oh my god.
But this will segue to another bullet. So yeah, this is more me asking personally, but what's it been like balancing life and making Lucy's Endless Night? Like, has it been difficult to get to this point?
Many people ask me how I deal with having a full-time job and making a comic, and there's many reasons I can do it. Number one is because I only do 10 panels a week. A lot of webtoons that you read are like 40 panels.
Oh.
I can't keep up with that. God. At first I was like, I have to do it. There's no set way to do anything. I think if you have to find the time and like do what is manageable within your own schedule. And since making Lucy, I have seen other webcomic artists that like do smaller updates and not full color. I know for a while Webtoon like originals, like the ones that they pick up and pay to have published, they can only do full color. And they actually picked up one recently that's been publishing that's like basically sketches.
Oh.
Which is really cool. But anyway, I only do 10 panels. I try to do 2 panels a day, and it's all black and white with spots of red. Because if I had to do it in full color, I don't think it would happen.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, as I've gotten to this point, I realized that like working a little bit every day is better than not doing anything at all.
Right.
Like, just because I can't sit down for 3 hours doesn't mean that an hour after work isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Because it is. By the end of the week, I've done 5 hours of work, possibly. I mean, I basically do finish like one quote unquote 10 panel episode a week. Which, if you think about it, if you're going to say like on average a page is 5 panels, it's 2 pages a week with a full-time job. I think that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not terrible. That's just because like I found a schedule and I don't kill myself.
Yeah.
I think we've been seeing a lot online about like, I'm glad like we're finally breaking this down of like, no, you don't need to be like an artist that stays awake at all hours of the night and like crams to finish your work and just killing yourself for the work. You have to have like a good work-life balance. The other thing that helps is really one good thing that came out of COVID, I will say for myself, is I really like working remotely because I used to commute for like an hour back and forth into Manhattan.
Yeah.
And, you know, waiting for the trains, it'll be like over an hour. And then by the time you get home, you're exhausted. When I was working on Heartless Prince, I was commuting and it was very difficult. And I would like stay up till like 10, 11 trying to like get stuff done.
Oh, that's early for me. Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
I think I'm the vampire here.
Oh, shoot. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that I don't stay awake past 11 because I do. I just won't work past 11. Yeah, just to sit at the computer after you've sat all day and commuted and then like come back to your desk and sit again. It was difficult.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit easier because I'm at my desk. I'm working on, you know, work. I call it work. And then like I'm here and like I'll just stay an extra hour or I'll stay an extra hour and a half and I'm like not so tired because I'm just in the same spot. I'm not walking and trying to run and catch a train.
Right.
So I think that me personally working remotely also helps a lot with my schedule. But I really enjoy it because it's really good for me to have the work that I do professionally and also have like a personal outlet.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like it's important to have like a personal outlet of work that's just you know.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've definitely seen like other people, you know, talk about the fact that like, you know, no matter how much, you know, love you put into like, you know, your boards or cleanup or whatever, you know, it's important to remember the fact that once you hand that over, it's not yours anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta make sure that you still have like energy and passion to put in your own work, something you actually like, you know, take with you, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I feel like, you know, there are so many people that we work with. I'm sure like not everybody wants to do their own work when they're done working.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for me, I like having a personal outlet. You could just work professionally and not like do work on the side, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat. That's just me. I really like creating my own stories, and I've come to love, you know, writing and drawing these stories, and
yeah,
it helps keep me sane and not like burned out and bored.
Yeah. And you know, I can really respect that. You know, I'm trying to get into that back into that mindset myself, honestly, but I think one, with, you know, like post-COVID burnout, and two, due to staying like I don't know, like 2 decades in the essay industrial complex I call, you know, like college, or you know, college, all basically all forms of schooling.
Yes, yes.
You know, like it's complicated because like on one hand, I feel like I really developed an appreciation for like, you know, looking at art, looking at media through a certain lens. It's, you know, why I, you know, quote unquote moonlight as someone who wants to look at like pieces of media, you know, in a more analytical way, talking about in the video, for instance. I want to like, you know, break stuff down, explain why. You know, learning how stuff works is basically why I'm here working to begin with. But while that's, you know, obviously very valuable, I feel like while the analytical side of my brain, like, you know, grew, the creative side of my brain definitely shrunk because it wasn't really encouraged, especially while I was in college. I didn't really have the time to. And it's not that, you know, like me making videos or whatever, like isn't creative in its own way. I was talking about this with you earlier, but like the TikTok promo that I did, like I whipped up in like a day, and I surprised myself with that. But
I thought it came out great.
Thank you.
I was like, look at this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, you know, once you know, just grow up as a kid and just like, you know, edit AMVs and YouTube poops and shit like that, like
oh, AMVs. What a time.
Man, I think they call them edits now, and I think now I just feel like a skeleton, honestly. But I respect the hustle. Like some of these like Spider-Verse ones I see on my page, like go insanely hard, like doing like actual like compositing effects and shit like that. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I have to watch like a current one.
Yeah,
I am still caught up with. There was a really good one for Princess Tutu.
Oh my god.
Did you watch Princess Tutu?
I know of it. I haven't watched it myself, but
I think you should watch it.
I
think you would like it. But there's like this one epic AMV that like I think is beautiful. And I feel like I got hung up in that era from who the hell knows how many years ago it is now. And I haven't seen a current AMV, and I should really get caught up.
I really should. Like, yeah, like obviously they're still here, but like Toonami is like basically like a huge impact on me, not just for the anime aspect, but also because of their editing style. I like, really respected that, honestly. But if we're talking like fan made AMVs, oh my god, it's almost 2 decades old. But I remember like just like surfing. There was this like old AMV called Tainted Donuts, and it was a crossover AMV between Trigun and Cowboy Bebop. But like,
oh my god,
the way it was edited, it still holds up. Like you have like a lot of people like being fooled as if like, oh, did they actually do a crossover? But no, it's like they actually like, you know, cut out the characters and like have like really creative like shot cuts and like match the colors and shit. It's just really impressive, you know, especially in hindsight. I swear, like just like looking back in like these AMV competitions or whatever, like even something like 2003, an old Naruto AMV was already like leagues ahead of like the editing you see for like average YouTube videos. I mean, like 5 years after the fact, like they were on something. I don't know what, but I respect the hell out of it.
I want to know what these people are doing now. Like, did you get hired as actual editors?
God,
I hope you guys did.
Yeah.
This
like, oh
this
my God.
video, I sent you my favorite one that I'm hung up on.
Oh, and I'll press enter on mine.
I just want you guys to know that this video is 16 years old. It's from 2006. It's a Princess Tutu AMV. If you type in Princess Tutu AMV into Google, it's like the first thing that comes up. I think everybody's hooked on this one.
Oh, heck yeah.
And the song is wonderful. The song is just a bop.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this later too. This is great.
Heck yeah.
This is great.
So okay, so I won't get too sidetracked. So Never Bullet, as an artist, do you have any advice when it comes to marketing oneself, especially in this current ever-changing social media landscape?
I think that today's social media landscape has gotten very chaotic. I'll say this. I'm a person, you know, there's people who are like, I hate social media and I don't want to be on it. And then there's the people that love social media. And I'm in the middle. I actually think that social media for us as artists is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got my job at Titmouse from Twitter. Like I saw Kayla post a job opening and I clicked the link and like responded and tested.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's, social media can be evil at times, but it could also be good too.
Yeah.
You just have to find the good pockets. I think it's a good resource to communicate with people, to connect with people, to learn about, like you said, like there's a lot of resources from people on like animation crews sharing their work, and like you can see behind the scenes by like following other artists on these productions.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
throughout college and whatnot. But marketing, I feel like a lot of engagement has been down a lot.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to leave Twitter. I refuse to call it X, it's still Twitter. Everybody's trying to leave Twitter, and I feel like I just stay there until it does go away, and it might not go away, who knows.
Right.
But I just constantly post everywhere. Like if I have a new piece, I'll post on Twitter, I'll post on Tumblr, I'll go to Instagram. Now there's Threads. I really like Threads, by the way.
I think personally being able to just like immediately follow people who you already have on Instagram, that's like a built-in audience right there. Like,
oh, that was wonderful. I thought that was
yeah.
a big bonus.
I'll say personally from my experience on social media, there was definitely like a great experience. Like especially someone like me who was like a fan first and like working animation second. It is honestly really nice to like have like a chance encounter with somebody, because like a lot of times those chance encounters are how I got like people to talk to, whether or not they were on this podcast. And I remember making this OKKO AMV set to a Tyler the Creator song, and ENJQ actually retweeted it, and that kind of made my year.
I love that. Yeah, that's really great. It's great. It's a beautiful way when it's like a good interaction.
Yeah.
For fans and creators to connect.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the part of social media I like. But yeah, I would say like if you're an artist, I would just say just kind of like, it is a hard time right now. Engagement is very low. I kind of just, in my, old decrepit mind, I'm just like, whatever. I just constantly post, and if you guys see it and like it, you see it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But at least I have a presence there. And I feel like it's helpful, if you want to get hired and people can find you and like see a nice body of work.
Right.
I treat a lot of I feel like I treat all of my places as just like a little portfolio hub. That's just how I roll. So so like my Instagram's like a little portfolio, my Tumblr. Oh, you know what I recently got invited to? Blue Sky.
Oh, you're
Blue
on
Sky
there?
Social. Yeah.
Oh, I've been on there. Oh my God.
Oh shoot, I just came on there.
Well, I can tag you like whenever this
I feel like I
out.
might. I don't know if I follow you. Maybe we don't follow each other.
Are you under? Oh wait, found you. Okay, perfect.
I'm the same thing everywhere. I'm also very uniform with my username.
Yeah, honestly, really good.
Oh, there you are.
Ding.
Oh, there we go.
I had like a small rebrand, but like out of spite, I'm just still gonna call the show the KashCast because it's catchy. Like, who cares? It's my show. I make the rules.
Exactly. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah. I will say this, and this is also a suggestion, not just to you, but to the audience as well. The inner IT nerd in me is like just salivating at this. So I don't know if you've heard this program, but something that I use a lot more now, still on Twitter and making art. There's a little cute program called Postyburb, and basically it's a little manager where you can just like say like upload an image and like log in with all your accounts. You can like select like which websites you want your thing to upload to. You can schedule posts, and if you have a coffee or Patreon or whatever, you can like do posts that are private on that as well. honestly, it did help a lot when I was still like able to upload art. If you're interested, obviously I can like link that. I'll probably link that in the episode description as well. But it really was like a lifesaver for me, honestly.
So it like posts everywhere for you.
Yeah, you can like schedule, put things in a little calendar and all that.
Ah,
It doesn't support
that
everything,
is
but it
really
supports a
useful.
lot. Like as like Tumblr, as Twitter, Mastodon. I don't know. I feel like once Blue Sky goes public, it'll probably support that as well because it's built on Mastodon. But yeah, like it has a lot of like sites and it's actively getting supported. And no, I'm not getting compensated for that. I just really like the program. Always gotta be transparent.
Not sponsored.
But yeah, I'll drop this link to you too, and for listeners, that link will be in the description of this episode.
Oh, you know what I want to tell you guys that I recently discovered?
Sure.
Canva. Have you used Canva yet?
Oh yeah, I've used that for some personal projects actually.
I really like it. I like how I'm dropping the name and not telling anybody what it is. It's a site where they have like templates and you could just make like really nice crisp like an Instagram post, or it's got like a TikTok layout. Like you could just like, format and make really official looking Instagram, TikTok. TikTok. It's a bloop. It's a bloop.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like any social media, they have like a template for it, and you just make like a really nice version of it. I've kind of been using it to lay out because me and you are gonna meet up at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sick.
so I want to do like pre-show commissions. So I've been using it to set up like a nice informational Instagram post. So that's also useful.
Oh, that's handy. It's funny you mention it. Because yeah, like last weekend, like I was actually using it to try to make a stream layout because I'm gonna try to get back into streaming. I know like a couple people on TikTok are able to like do that as well, but you need like an absurd amount of followers just to be able to like do something on TikTok. But I already have a YouTube channel, so I figured, nah. But yeah, honestly, very handy. And again, neither of us are getting compensated. So
no, we're not getting compensated for this. This is not sponsored. We just like these sites.
Yeah, definitely. And
we hope you do too.
Exactly. Like sharing, tools, like you can gatekeep like nice restaurants, but we're not gatekeeping like art tools. Like
no, we're not gatekeeping art tools here.
Okay, so finally, I think we can like mention this. So you and me are coworkers, granted in different departments, obviously, on KIF. So
yes.
So currently, you are a retake supervisor. So could you explain like what that role entails, what you do on KIF, for our viewers who might not know?
Yeah, I feel like retakes is like the hidden job role that I think not a lot of people know about. Because I didn't know about it until I worked at Titmouse. I didn't know what retakes was. And I think my first retakes job, I was an animator on Midnight Gospel.
Right.
And then as the show was wrapping up, they needed retake people, which I didn't know what that was. And they asked me if I would be a retake animator. Basically, what a retake animator is, the animation is finished. It's fully colored. It's all done. But you need to make a change to it. The way I like to think about it is it's like the polish. It's the polish point of the production.
Right.
It's just making everything look a little bit nicer when it comes back, from wherever it was animated, or whoever animated it. So you're mostly dealing with fully finished animation. And sometimes like it's different when something is boarded out to when it's fully animated, and maybe, the intention isn't there, or maybe, it's not working in animation and you kind of want to change the acting.
Right.
So retakes is like, doing that. Sometimes we reanimate, and like sometimes I'll do like draw overs and then send it back to the original animation studio. And sometimes like we're just fixing little things. There's a lot of like comp polishing that's involved. adding effects or lighting and rim light, just making it look a little bit fancy.
Yeah.
But but my job as a supervisor, I mean, I do a little bit of both. I actually do animation on KIF and actually go into the shots and fix things. But I also go through the episodes and I watch them many times and I give notes and I look at everybody's work, and when it's all set to go, I say it's approved and it goes to edit and we re-render it, and then by the end we have a beautiful episode. I feel like a good resource to learn about retakes. I don't know if you've ever seen this clip. Have you ever seen a clip floating around from Big City Greens?
Oh, yeah, I know the episode you're talking about.
I saw that clip and it makes me laugh every time. And then I saw like an angry person comment on it.
Really?
And they were like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe you guys are proud that like you don't do any work. Like you send the work off to like another studio and like you're proud of that." And I want people listening to this to know that that is not the case. The retakes are very, like, we work really hard.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of polished work, and it's not like we don't do it.
Right. Like sometimes there are just like shots that have to be done in-house.
Yeah, exactly. It's its own specialty. It takes a lot of skill. You have to know what you're doing because we're often working on 3 episodes at a single time, doing retakes on all of them, and you don't have a ton of time.
Yeah.
And you have to reanimate it, and you got to be fast. And if the note could be like, "Hey, the timing isn't right. Make it look better." And like the animator has to know how to make it look better. Like there's a level of skill involved.
Yeah.
You have to be, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like you have to be pretty experienced to be a retake animator.
Oh, definitely.
To be able to handle the short turnaround times and like just get it done and like quickly animate something and fix it.
Definitely.
Because yeah, it's crazy. We are working on multiple episodes at a time.
Yeah.
And polish and like fixing stuff is a lot of work in itself. Every job in animation is a lot of work, and it's a beautiful craft. Everybody puts a lot of love. Every department.
Yeah. Like everyone's exhausted, but like we enjoy it because we enjoy the final product, of course.
Yeah. So if you are a viewer and you don't understand the level of work that goes into these things, even though it comes back to us finished, it's just like there's still a lot to do. Basically.
Oh, definitely. On my end, like I don't know, like every PA is different, but I think I end up like getting like a custom role, honestly. Because sometimes when I'm in like retake meetings, I don't even know how. I guess I have like just like fucking JoJo stand ability, where it's like catch stuff that sometimes no one else does. But
you are very good at catching things.
And thank you. Like I'm surprised, honestly.
Adam is very good at catching things. That's why I was so surprised that they weren't an animator.
Oh man. Yeah, I know a lot about like the craft, but not about actually making it myself. Schrodinger's animator, I guess.
that is I feel like that's a skill itself,
Yeah. Like I mean, like I also work in video editor, so like I end up having to see like a lot of shit frame by frame anyway. For years I remember like make my own stuff in Vegas, Magic's Vegas. Oh, it was Sony Vegas when I was a kid, but I digress. But yeah, I remember just like exporting my like dumb stuff, and for whatever reason, it was just like always like like one cutoff frame or like one jump frame or whatever, that wasn't in the preview window, and it taught me a valuable life lesson. For anyone who's still using Vegas, disable resample. First off, for the love of God. And yeah, like viewing stuff frame by frame was like obviously important.
Yeah.
Like obviously like every PA is different, but for me, when we have draft episodes, like each episode has like free passes for people who don't know. So when an episode reaches like the second pass of animation, which also is when, compositing like special effects is starting to be introduced, I go and I have like my own notes. So like if I see something, then I'll just like note the scene, and I forward it to Angela. And if anything looks good on that end, she'll just like add it to the main document. And yeah, like I basically made a role for myself, but I'm happy to help, obviously, like it feels good to help.
Honestly, you can never have too many eyes. I think what happens is because there's 3 rounds where we're watching this, you've watched it so many times that you're probably missing stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have a fresh pair of eyes.
Oh wait, can I mention the funny thing, the index card thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might know about this, but this is like the thing that happened like from our end, and like I'm not sure if the episode got alright. Most likely did, but I can cut this whole second now in case it didn't. But there was an episode where Trevor had like a cute little index card, just like introducing himself, right? And we had an obviously fake email address and phone number.
Oh, the business card.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that aired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, this episode went through all free passes, but then afterwards, like, Disney got back to us over on production's end and was like, hey, we can't have phone numbers that like have like the formatting of
I remember
number.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And that is why I now also am checking through episodes if there's phone numbers, email addresses, any text that needs to be like blocked out for international airings. That's me. Yeah. Like I remember glancing at the email and like seeing like how much like it was gonna take to like fix that and replace the asset, because we were fine on our end. And I was like, ooh. Well, it ain't our fault.
There's a lot that goes into these shows that people don't think of.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. You can't have, like you said, you can't have phone numbers, emails, web addresses. You can't have .com.
I was surprised about that.
Well, like I said, I'm going to take it back to my earlier story of how I called the phone number for the blow pens.
Oh, right.
They don't want a kid calling or going to a website that's not there, or is there but not affiliated with us.
Right. Matter of fact, like I was still in college when this happened, so I don't have like a productions perspective on this. But did you hear about what like a similar thing happened on Animaniacs, the new one?
No.
So obviously they fixed it now.
What happened?
So long story short, on one of the first episodes, it was episode 6. So they had a phone number on screen, right?
Okay.
But then like
new one. This is the new one.
The new one,
not
yes.
From when like we were kids.
Yes.
Okay.
So they had a phone number on screen, and people are like, oh, like it's just like an adult joke or whatever, why not? And someone actually called the number, and it was a sex hotline.
Of course it was.
But it was
what are the odds?
Completely unintentional. So like a lot of people made a fuss about it. And for a hot minute they just like removed that episode entirely from Hulu. I think it's back up now, obviously.
Oh my god.
Number. But like
this is why we don't put phone numbers in our shows.
Yeah.
That's wild. I never heard that.
I'm surprised, honestly. Like again,
I'm surprised too. What rock was I living under?
like to be fair, like I was still in college, so like I had time to be a quote unquote animation fan. Nowadays, like I'm like going out of my way to like have hobbies that are far removed from animation.
That's such an adult thing to say. We have to go out of our way to find a hobby.
I mean, like, I'm not like super adult. I mean, like, one of those hobbies is like playing competitive Smash Brothers. So I'm like, meh. But
Oh, I love that hobby. That's a good one. That's a good hobby.
yeah, it's fun, honestly. But I digress. But yeah, I guess like moral here, it's completely fine to like have distance. Just because you work in this field doesn't mean that everything about you has to revolve around it. It's completely fine to like have distance from what you work on. Like, I love like, you know, trying to have the opportunity to like show KIF to like my friends and family. But it's not gonna be like immediately after I get off work. When KIF premiered, and it was when I first like had like a preview of the metal movie. So that was like one of the first times in the office. I had to rush all the way back to set a little Discord call with my friends, and we were watching a live broadcast, and it was great. It was great to like ring that up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I still have that server. Like, it was supposed to have the intent on like whenever we had like new episode drops, just like watch it like with friends. That didn't fucking happen. I'm too tired at the end of the week.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
Me too.
but like honestly, I'm glad I was able to like have as many people as I could, like online friends, college friends, etc. Just like bring that in. It's surreal.
It's amazing.
Honestly.
It's really it's fun to see our work on
Definitely
broadcast, and I love it. I think it's really fun.
And oh yeah, speaking of friends, speaking of viewers, I didn't previously mention viewer to show Nook, but since your question was just explain what a retake supervisor is, we just incorporated that into our casual conversation. Normally I have like a dedicated section for viewer questions, but since the show is still trying to get like an audience footing in terms of comments on new social media, probably gonna have like a bit of a dry spell with that. But no, I think we had like a pretty fine conversation so far, regardless. But in the future, if you do want to submit questions for a future guest, the email KashCastQNA@gmail.com. We're on Tumblr, KashCast@tumblr.com. You can just send an ask there, or any site where I end up posting like a video or picture announcement of a guest. Feel free to comment there. There's a lot of venues: YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Like, have at
comment everywhere.
Basically. Help me help you.
That's what I feel like. Help me help you. We're really spread thin with these social medias, guys.
Oh my god.
So many.
Look, don't get me started. Like, I feel like a one-man studio, to be honest.
I'm
like,
right here.
Just the fact that like I'm doing full-time work and like I'm not like putting time like creative stuff, but like I'm still tired because like, oh yeah, like video essay stuff. Oh yeah, podcast stuff. Oh yeah, streaming. Oh yeah, teach myself animation. It's like I wish the week had like 14 days in it so I could like compensate for it.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Don't we all?
Oh my god. Before I wrap up, like I'll just use this as like a personal space. So a while ago, for the uninitiated, like Angela was nice enough to actually take a look at an original story that I'd been working on. She was able to give like some really nice feedback on it, honestly.
I was gonna ask you about it, and then we just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that you felt creatively burned out before, and I was like, but what about your amazing story? I'm waiting for you to make it.
Well, first off, thank you. Like I'll definitely I'll definitely talk about it. So recently, well, not recently, but like a while ago, because I'm also in Jackie Druko's Discord. She has like a really nice YouTube channel, just like going over like art tutorials and stuff, and like I'm in her Patreon Discord. And a while ago they had an event where it was basically showing off like your projects and like getting feedback on them. You know, sadly, due to a hard drive failure, the draft that I had sent you just doesn't exist. But I did have enough in order to like, you know, fumble my way into presentation. I was able to find like an earlier draft on my hard drive, but not like the one that I likely sent you. But I do still have your notes, and those are helping. Like I just use that as an opportunity to you know, just like do like a little bit of a refresh anyway. Like my main character is gonna be called Ava now, for instance. But yeah, like this is like an idea that I've had since high school, honestly. You know, I always just like had like an idea of like, you know, pink cyborg girl, robot arm, and you know, like I have like very obvious influences, but like outside of my friend circle, they're pretty niche, like for context sake. Like really big into like, you know, like Y2K sci-fi aesthetics, you know, like urban fantasy, basically anything adjacent to like Power Rangers or Kamen Rider or stuff like that. Like big passions of mine personally. Having all that in a blender is something that I feel like would probably be unique, because like it's not just like, for me personally, it's not just like watching like basically like live action Japanese kid shows where people just beat each other up. Like there's like, I don't want to oversell anything while like, you know, hunching up my glasses anime style, like saying like, no, actually like that's the thing. And maybe I'm like biased in a way because I am also indeed working on a kid show, but it's like I can, you know, accept what I'm watching, but also admire the fact that, you know, a lot of these writers are legitimately talented and are able to like actually talk about, you know, fairly nuanced concepts and like actually cool stories while being, you know, in like a 6 to 12 demographic or whatever. Like that's how this stuff like lasts so long. And like
it's amazing. Yeah,
and I really like respect that. Even though like in this field, I guess it's still like a pretty niche thing. I feel like Kyle Carosa, it was like the only other person I know who like wore this up on his sleeve. Like he does like a lot of like wallpapers and stuff. Like this stuff is also like a very clear influence on Magic Swords, which I also got when I was in high school.
Oh my god, Mighty Magiswords.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
never watched it, but I will say, like, I used to go. I haven't been in a few years. I kind of want to go back. San Diego Comic-Con. That show first came out. I have like a foam Mighty Magisword.
Oh, you got one of those? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I gotta find it.
God.
I think it was like a pumpkin.
Oh yeah,
sword.
that was. Yeah, I know. He had a name.
I'm glad that you know what it is.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just forget the character's name, but like I couldn't forget. Oh my god. And like I love Kyle's art too, honestly. Like he has like such like a really good in terms of like, you know, like line flow and everything. Just really slick stuff. Hi Kyle.
Hello.
But yeah, so I guess like my main thing is like, I don't know, like I have my influences and I definitely have like an idea of a story, but I think like making a story with like influences that like are kind of outside the norm is definitely a worry, because like how people can perceive it. I don't want to just like imitate what I'm inspired by.
Yeah.
Also, like, you know, the whole essay brain where it's like the ability to like make original stuff, like stories and drawings and stuff, was basically like pushed out of me. So I'm trying to like reclaim that, you know.
Did you ever hear? Oh my god, somebody recently posted this on Threads.
Uh-huh.
But this is an actual quote, and it's basically that there is no such thing as an original idea. Everything is always influenced by something else.
Right.
And I think we kind of have to, you know, we have it rammed in our brains that we have to make this new revolutionary, never existed before thing. And that's really not the case. And I found that recently, and I feel like I will say social media helped me discover this, because I am a big book reader. I read a lot of books. That's my
Right.
hobby. books are my hobby. But anyway, I feel like following a lot of authors and like, book Twitter or like Bookstagram, a lot of ways that authors market their books is by telling you the tropes of the book. And I was like, oh wow, like, like enemies to lovers, or like sunshine and grumpy, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tropes that like, they're easily recognizable and they're in a ton of stories. They're not necessarily original, but like you're going to read it if you gravitate and like that kind of story.
Right.
And I kind of discovered that like it's okay. It's not about the idea being original. It's how you execute the idea. And I think that's something that a lot of artists, myself included, have to learn, to not put so much pressure on originality, but more on like the execution, because everyone is, nobody's going to perceive the world the way you do or the way I do.
Right.
So like that inherently is going to make what we write original, hopefully. Like you said, like you don't want to copy it, but
yeah,
I think if you're conscious of that and you're putting yourself into it and you're melding maybe a bunch of stuff that you like, you're making something new because you're mixing a bunch of things.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like I said, it is just it's real, because like this like a whole genre of media that I feel like outside it's like a whole built-in fandom doesn't really get talked about. And I feel like there's like a lot of like really interesting stories. I could just go into like a whole conversation about this. I feel like the biggest example, how would I translate like something like this, where it's like on one hand it's definitely a toy commercial, but on the other hand it very is like a mostly serious tale. I feel like something like that could like really fit into this demographic of like tween to young adult, like demographic that like has been like sorely misrepresented.
Oh my god, I want to bring a young adult animation, I don't know
Renaissance?
what to call it. Yeah, what, like a renaissance? I want
Yeah.
young adult animation to be a thing so badly. I really do. I feel it. See, I don't know. I don't have any facts about this statement that I'm gonna make. Okay, but I'm gonna say it, I guess.
Yeah, don't sue us.
I feel like for like Japanese animation, like they do have a young adult audience, and I feel like in here, like in the US, like we don't, or like the adult animation that we make is purely like raunchy comedy, and that's what adult animation is, and not like nuanced stories or like just stories about like being an adult and getting through everyday life, or like dealing with like love and friendship and just like the day-to-day,
right
and like really meaningful stories. I feel like if the story doesn't have like sex in it, then it's not considered like adult animation. Like I feel like that is like a requisite.
Yeah.
Prerequisite. And I wish it wasn't like that, and I wish like we kind of had more young adult geared stories and like nuanced stories with like that weren't just centered on like, raunchy sex jokes and only comedy.
And I find stuff interesting like when comparing like Japanese stuff to American, because like for instance, like the Kamen Rider stuff, this is like for like 6 to 12-year-olds. But like over here, like for violence or whatever, like the primary demographic is gonna be like, weirdos in their like mid to late 20s or older, like watching this stuff. Same with anime. Like I know for top of my head, like we market like stuff like even like My Hero or Dragon Ball or Gurren Lagann, like those are more marketed towards kids. But over here is just like, well, maybe My Hero is like probably more popular like the younger crowd, but like by and large, it feels like anime is like more marketed like towards like adults, even though like, because like a lot of this stuff is like shonen. Like that was like a reason like Toonami was like popular to begin with. Like these shows, even they might be like a tad more violent or risque than like Powerpuff Girls, are still by and large meant for kids. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, that's what a lot of executives like didn't get, and that's how you
Yeah.
ended up with like like fucking Escaflowne on Fox Kids, where it's like you're trying to make something that obviously was not meant for kids, trying to like cram it in.
God.
Part of me misses that stuff because it's like, like it's obviously a dumb decision, but it takes like stones like commit to that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it does.
But yeah, like I definitely think that like there's a balance, and I also realized that I got like way off my mark on what I originally was gonna be talking about. I was talking about my own ideas.
Oh yeah, you were talking about
Yeah,
comic.
no,
No.
I apologize. like the show Ryuki, I've been working on a retrospective like for a literal year.
Okay.
Like I'm sorry, there's just a permanent like section of my brain that is just like dedicated to that. So I apologize. But I
There
guess
is no need.
But I
to
guess like
apologize.
tying it back to Magic Girls again, I think one of the co-writers, because like again, like you probably know this, but there was actually like a live action like a Sailor Moon show in like 2003.
Yeah, is that the musical?
No, but I am remembering like in 2019, I think they were like showing in New York, and I'm mad that I didn't get to go.
I went.
Oh, you
I
did?
did
Oh, how
go.
was it?
It was great. They like put the manga on the screens behind them.
Yo.
It was beautiful.
Oh my
I
god.
wish you were there too.
Oh my god.
I hope they come back.
Yeah,
that
I
was
hope
great.
so too.
And I think, it was all in Japanese, but they found a way, which, I didn't mind if I sat there and didn't understand anything that they were saying, because you could kind of get it.
Yeah, you're here
like
for the vibe.
acting.
Yeah.
But they actually, I'm there for the vibe. I'm there for Sailor Moon. I know what happened. But they actually had like subtitles on the screens. They did it in like a very crafty way.
Oh, that's rad.
It was cool. It was really cool. And I hope they do it again. And I hope that if they do come back, I will understand a little bit more. Thanks to Duolingo, not sponsored. I'm trying to teach myself Japanese.
Oh my god, same. I'm
I
trying to
bought like
too.
little books too.
Oh, you're way more serious than me.
No, I'm like serious. I was like, I'm gonna use Duolingo, but I know this isn't the only tool I should be using.
Yeah.
And I got a textbook from Kinokuniya.
Oh, I was over there actually.
I love
like
that
a couple
store.
months ago. I don't know if she's gonna listen, but like one of my friends actually works there. So if you're listening, hi.
Oh my god, is it like great to work there? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
listen to this.
Oh my god. And
I would be broke. I would spend my whole paycheck there. I wouldn't make any money.
Oh my god. And oh yeah, to go back with what I was mentioning. So yeah, Yasuko Kobayashi, she was one of the co-writers of Ryuki, but I think like around that time or like almost right after, she was the one who basically wrote the live action Sailor Moon show from 2003.
Animaniacs.
I was definitely surprised you didn't know that. There's a lot of dead air I'm gonna have to cut out. I thought this would be an easy episode. I apologize.
That's because we're just like chatty Cathys.
Oh, absolutely. There was this like fan film, like proof of concept thing, right? Let's see. Oh, I'm probably butchering the name. Adi Shankar. Oh yeah, he was the producer of it. Yeah. So he's the showrunner of the Castlevania over on Netflix. So
wow.
So he made like a proof of concept short of like a gritty Power Rangers reboot, but the whole thing, at least from my interpretation, was supposed to be a satire on taking like happy-go-lucky kids properties, superhero properties, and the only way people could take them seriously is for a gratuitously dark interpretation that like strays really far from the source material. And sadly, a lot of people miss the point and they unironically dig it. So
Oh my god.
And it's so weird because it's like, like the whole like apocalypse, and I think like one of them's evil, like Tommy or Jason or whatever, and it's like, like for a little thing, for like a standalone, fine, but I'm not going to act like, oh, I would only want this kid show, like the only reason I can take you seriously is if it caters to me. Like I was just like, watch something for adults. Like,
yeah.
And it's so funny because like when the show itself, Power Rangers, like actually dealt with something like, like apocalypse, end the world or whatever, they still had fun moments. Oh my god. See, that's the thing. Like,
I love, that's what I love when shows like aren't like just one track, like we are sad all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, I need the roller coaster. I need like that, I need a balance of like fun and dark.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it adds more depth. It's more realistic.
Yeah. Like I've watched shows, like again, sorry for the old comedy stuff, but they have like arcs where it's like, I think Build, yeah, where all of like the main characters up to that point were literally just having like a little like party up on a rooftop, and it was like the final episode before like the final arc, literal end the world stuff. And it's fun, but it's also like incredibly tragic. And I think that show specifically I like because of the fact that the whole show was written by that one person. So I felt like that is like, when having like one person, well, on one hand it sounds like torture, but on the other hand it's like a clear vision for the characters. So it's like, these are your children, so you have like a clear end goal of how you want them to end up, and I really respect that. I'm just hyper fixating all over the place. I can definitely condense some of this, like, don't worry. But,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, how the hell am I gonna find a way to flow into this?
If anything, I believe in you. I know you're gonna be able to do it.
Okay. Like, I can obviously just like ask you another time for like a more creative help. This could be a bonus episode sort of thing. But so for closing statements, so I'll quickly ask, well, obviously we know what you're currently working on, Kif. But in terms of like personal projects or anything else, what are you currently working on, or what can we look forward to you doing in the future? And any socials that you're currently on, feel free to let us know.
So I am currently working on, I mean, you mentioned this before, like my big side project is my webcomic, Lucy's Endless Night, which is on Webtoon and Webtoon Canvas and Tapas also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I started writing a new story the other day, but that'll be like after Lucy.
Yeah, but, so do Seeds now.
So yeah, because like I just love making comics. So, but yeah, for the next, I feel like for the foreseeable future, we are going to be doing all Lucy things. I've been reading a lot of old Victorian vampire stories that I'd love to incorporate into the plot. So it's gonna be fun in the future.
Oh, heck yeah.
And for like, I actually have like a retelling in one of the upcoming episodes, so that's gonna be really fun. I wanted to find like stories. The main story we know is Dracula, and there are so many cool ones I found,
right,
that I was like, wow. So yeah, I want to kind of incorporate that into Lucy along with the main plot line. Socials, I was losing my train of thought. Socials, you can find me everywhere with the handle at Angela Animates. It's my name, Angela, and the word animates smushed together because that's what I do. But yeah. I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok, Tacto. I'm on
Stop.
I'm on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Tumblr. Come on Tumblr. You can also follow Lucy's portfolio on Tumblr.
Oh, let me do that.
her website is lucyardenart.com, and it'll take you to her portfolio page.
Art, I-N, art?
Lucy, Lucy,
Mm-hmm.
Arden, Arden.
Oh.
And then the word art.
Oh, okay. Okay. And followed.
Oh, I got a new follower. Lucy got a new follower. I didn't get a new follower. I got a post on there.
And honestly, like, apologies for not letting you elaborate more about Lucy earlier. Like, I'll cut out my hyperfixation. That'll be like a bonus coffee thing.
Oh, that's okay.
But if you were to like pitch Lucy's Endless Night for those uninitiated, like, you know, like 5 minutes or less, how would you do it to like new potential readers?
All right, so listen, if you like vampires and if you like Pride and Prejudice, I think you'll like this website. It's basically the tropes that we have are arranged marriage, enemies to lovers. We have a cat that we adore. All right, let me give like the actual synopsis. We're gonna stop with the bullet points.
I'm
basically, basically, it's about Lucy who lives on a floating city based on New York City, but like I kind of did it where it's a mix of like Victorian and futuristic elements.
Mm-hmm.
But basically the city is trapped in an endless night, and because of it, like vampires have kind of taken over the city and they rule the city. But Lucy is obsessed with drawing vampires, so she kind of like always goes to the very tippy edge between the human border and the vampire half of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think happens? She gets bitten by one. Surprise, surprise. And the guy that she's arranged to be married to is a vampire hunter.
Ooh.
And basically the story is that they find her, and these aren't spoilers. This is just like basically the beginning. But you know, they find her before she's a fully turned vampire. Silas, who is the hunter that she's engaged to, his father decides that we're still going to go through with the wedding. We're still going to have you marry a vampire, but she's going to be on our side, and we're going to use her to like spy on the vampires and get into places that we normally can't get into. And he's got to basically train Lucy to be a good vampire. She kind of sucks at it right now, but she's getting better. She's figuring it out.
As we all are.
It's a fun ride, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, come on down if you like enemies to lovers, Pride and Prejudice, vampires, cats, what else? Yeah, that stuff.
Okay, but here's like an important final question. Does Lucy's Endless Night have an official Spotify playlist?
You know what? I do have a playlist for Lucy.
Ooh.
Is it I don't think I ever shared this with anyone before. You're going to hear it here first.
Oh, heck yeah.
I love making Spotify playlists.
Yeah, I'm definitely down. I have like my own nameless idea that I don't even have a title for. I don't know. Maybe we can have like a workshop like one other time.
I think that we could. I'm gonna give you a link to this playlist.
Sure. And I think
I can't believe you asked me that. That's amazing.
No problem. And I think like giving you mine will probably like give you a better idea as to what I'm trying to go for, because like I'm just like fumbling with words.
Listen, we already established earlier that like we can't speak English. We only speak in gibberish.
We speak in gibberish and references.
Because we can't string thoughts together. It's fine.
So right. So for I can't believe we're all trying to fuck. Perfect comedic timing. So,
Spotify playlist.
Yes. I'll probably make mine public too. Like, I don't mind. Eventually, I'll draw my characters out. It'll make more sense. But any opportunity to be a music snob, I will take. And as for me, we've had a couple of changes on the podcast. For almost everything that I'm able to, I'm having a slight social media rebrand. So you can find me at A2Adam instead of KashCast. The podcast name will remain the same because it's catchy. But all my links will be on a2adam.carrd.co. I'm actively updating it, so if you want anything, you can just click. I'm slowly trying to get back into doing YouTube videos. Who knows when I'm gonna finish this retrospective, but if the rambling I went sounds interesting, like, feel free to keep in mind. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr, Mastodon, Pillow Fort, Newgrounds, like all that. Oh
my god, you're really on everything.
Yeah, because like the stereos, like, we've got to find a new place now. Twitter's dying, and
I know. I kind of held back.
And I can't.
Everybody was moving to some place new, like, every week. I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, and I can't blame the hysteria because, like, almost every week something new and stupid did happen. So I don't blame the hysteria. But it's also like Hive, and like, I don't know, what was it, like a Pixel? It's like, it feels like a bit, just like saying all these, like, oh my god.
I kind of sat on the side and was like, I'm gonna see what sticks.
Yeah, it's completely fair.
So far, Blue Sky seems to be hanging on.
Yeah, I think
Threads, we just all got roped into, which I kind of thought was convenient. I love the convenience.
Yeah, like, I have a built-in following, so, like, apparently it's like, if you delete your Instagram, delete your Threads too, but it's like, I have no real reason. I did hear that. But me personally, I don't really have like a reason to delete my Instagram, so I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not planning to. Oh, you know what that was? I think it was because people who signed up for Threads didn't want the Threads anymore.
Oh.
And if they delete the Threads, your Instagram gets deleted.
Oh.
Or so I've heard.
Yeah.
So they were like, no. But I like Threads, so I don't really care right now.
Yeah. So
come find us.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Full discretion on personal stuff. Like, I'm more of a blogger now than anything because of burnout, but I'll get back to drawing eventually. But yeah, a2adam.carrd.co. All my socials, including other pages for the podcast, are there. If you want to submit a question, for any future guests, feel free to send an ask on Tumblr, email at cashcastqna@gmail.com, or comment on anything that you see on other social media like YouTube or TikTok. I'm gonna try to be posting more TikTok, try to like build more of a presence on there as well. So feel free to contact me, and I'm probably gonna have like a big potential guest list anyway. On Tumblr, you can see a list of potential people that I have reached out to for the future. But if you have any suggestions, also feel free to email or contact me as well. Or even if you're interested, hey, like, I don't care. I'm down for everything. If you are an artist, if you work in the animation industry or not, if you're a general online creative, I'm interested in talking with you. Like, just feel free to contact me on the email or any of my venues. I am also working on KIF, but because I work in production, you're likely not going to see my drawings for a while. But just know one production is a very important field, and KIF in of itself is a very fun show. Like, I'm happy to be working on it.
Go watch KIF.
She's
it's
indeed
amazing.
king. Like,
please go watch it. KIF is king.
Some of the stuff you've animated from scratch, like, I've loved like seeing it, honestly.
if you guys end up going to my socials, you will see some behind the scenes retakes shenanigans.
Yes.
That might give you a better idea of what I was talking about, of like me saying I actually reanimate some things. So
right.
yeah, I love saving that stuff. It's fun. I love pencil tests. I'm a big pencil test fan.
Yeah. Oh my god. And I think that'll be it. So again, thank you all for being great listeners. This wraps officially another episode of the KashCast. I am Adam.
And I am Angela.
And we'll both see you again next time. Just remember to stay safe, take care, wear a mask, and remember, love and peace always. Have a good night.
Bye.